Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have a return guest back on the show, Emily Musil, and she's the Managing Director of Environmental and Social Innovation over at the Milken Institute. And she's been on the show multiple years, and we're normally talking about the Milken Institute Global Conference and also the Milken Motsepe Prize. So we're going to get into that. But first thing first, Emily, welcome back on the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Adam. It's great to be back.
Oh, good times, good times. I know this year's conference was so busy. We didn't see each other in person, but I'm glad I could get you booked for the virtual interview, so it's fun to catch up. And I guess let's just kind of dive right in. And I want to make sure that you have a moment or two to talk about what the Milken Motsepe Prize is, so that we've been fortunate and blessed that the show keeps growing. So maybe they haven't caught some of our previous work. So maybe get into what the prize is as a whole first.
Sure, great. Well, first of all, it's such a pleasure to be able to be here on Mission Matters. We've gotten to talk about a broad array of topics that we work on here at the Milken Institute and really how we can help move capital and other resources as people are on their journey towards more meaningful lives. The Milken Motsepe Prize is part of the Milken Institute's broader prize program. So for our prize program, we really are looking at how do we reward and incentivize entrepreneurs to have creative, innovative solutions that are going to help solve some of our trickiest challenges, often things that can seem unsolvable. For the case of the Milken Motsepe Prize, we partnered with the Motsepe Foundation of South Africa in 2021, and every year we launch a different challenge as part of the prize. Each prize offers $2 million in unrestricted prize money, as well as wraparound support for entrepreneurs. We're really proud that in these first 4 years of the program, our prize community has grown to over 12,000 entrepreneurs from over 136 countries around the world. So we keep growing, just like you're saying, this Mission Matters.
That's absolutely amazing. 12,000, insane. Continue. I just had to stop you for a moment there. We can't glance over that number, and that was only, you said 2021. Wow. Please continue.
Yeah. Well, and, part of growth is also looking each year, what can we do better? What can we do differently? So each prize topic has its own, we design it differently. It has its own set of judges. We look at what are the most critical areas for us to be engaging with entrepreneurs. We also are looking at how we can grow our program. So what you'll see, I'm going to preview a little bit so that we can make sure we secure an interview at our global conference this year. What you'll be seeing in the coming year in 2026 is the expansion of our prize community, not just in the numbers. Now that we've gotten this big, we're really saying, how can we do more, offer more to people who are part of this community? While the prize each year is still our central focus, we're looking at additional competitions and contests. We're looking at engagement for youth. We're looking at starting hubs around the world where we can really have people engage more in their specific regional area where they are. We're based here in the U.S., and as I mentioned, it's global. So we're really looking how to expand the community and offer more to them. And on the other side of things, for our winners, one of the things is we really want to see how we can do more for our winners to help them scale and grow after they win the prize. So that's the Milken Motsepe Prize.
Talk about growth. And this year, correct me if I'm off, I think it was AI focused this year. Am I wrong or right on that one?
That's right. So we actually just closed our submission for our AI and manufacturing Milken Motsepe Prize. So this is the fourth prize that we are offering.
Yeah. How did your team
You're
select?
Part of it, Adam.
I know. I'm already here like, wait a minute. Hold on. I didn't get the call to go to, wait, who chose this topic without asking me? No, I'm just... Oh man, they're not gonna let you come back on no more, Emily. No, I'm just. How did your team go into choosing this niche?
Well, after careful consultation with lots of experts, we actually have a specific design process where we say, where can we be the most useful? So we really look and do a landscaping of where we think a prize would be most helpful. We also, as I mentioned before, sort of each year we're trying to learn and grow. So this year, the AI and Manufacturing Milken Motsepe Prize, we really looked at that because first we were thinking about this specific transformative moment that's driven by AI in the manufacturing sector. So it is a pivotal time. And the second is that Africa really stands at the forefront of that transformation. There's so much going on with the continent specifically that the opportunity to really revolutionize how this new technology can transform how goods are made, moved, consumed, really thinking about job opportunities. So AI, for example, it's projected to add nearly $3 trillion to Africa's economy within the next about 6 to 7 years. So really looking at how we can be strategic about looking at the industrial base, that's key to inclusive economics. It's key to sustainable development. We really think there's exciting work happening in the manufacturing sector to harness the power of AI and other advanced technologies to improve supply chain throughout Africa. Another thing that's new about the Milken Motsepe Prize in AI and manufacturing is for this year, we're seeking established companies that have been in operation in Africa for at least 2 years and that they are at least Series A or more. So our first 2 prizes focused on startups, so brand new ideas, testing them in the field. That was for our agritech, our green energy.
Yeah, I remember last that, the agritech one especially.
Oh, yeah, that one we were in, that was still, we had COVID, there was Ebola.
Oh, yeah, that was the middle of it. I remember that was
Yeah, our entrepreneurs really, really worked on that. So every year, we do that, we're sort of responsive to what we think the need is. Last year in fintech was the first time we really looked at more mature companies rather than startups for a series of reasons. And part of that is because we want to really be able to have these companies scale and see how we can best set them up with investors and others and really look at which ones are ready to go to the next level. So for manufacturing, we wanted to see ones, this time we're very specific that it had to be at least 2 years, so that when we engage all the wraparound services I mentioned before for these companies, we are better able to really tailor, connect them with people, see what they need, engage, and help them grow and scale at the end.
To me, heading this program and being involved, you have just a super unique vantage point, especially when you think about this group and this ever-growing population in this ecosystem, 12,000 plus. Like, what excites you about going through the submissions, the people, the entrepreneurs? Like, what keeps you up at night? Like, wow, this is really exciting.
Well, that's a great question, Adam. Thank you. I thought you were going to say what keeps you up at night worrying, and I was like, oh.
No, I want the excitement. We got enough to worry about. I got plenty of worrying about. Whatever. I'm worried about what I'll eat for breakfast, Emily. So no. That's in my nature. So let's get it. What excites us? Let's focus on that.
Part of the reason I do sleep well and I do hop out of bed in the morning, really excited to do this work, is because being around entrepreneurs who are focused on social good is one of the most inspiring things, because this is a group of people who they wake up jumping out of bed and saying, how can we work to create something better? There's a fundamental hope, optimism, action, belief and excitement about the future that is part of it. And we really work to design our program so that we want a huge array of types of entrepreneurs, and to have that spirit really infused in so many, not just for the one winner, but infused throughout, this idea that if we can all wake up and think, how can I be part of a solution for a better future to bring about a positive, prosperous, safe, healthy, equitable, sustainable future? That sort of energy is what's going to keep us moving forward, is going to keep people building. It's going to make sure we're hearing from all sorts of new ideas, that we're open ways of doing things. We need that as our technology is advancing faster than our institutions. We need people who are just jumping on these technologies and working to solve big problems.
Love it. Emily, last question on my end here. Any final, parting words you'd like to leave as well? But what sets prizes at Milken Institute apart from other organizations? Not to take away from any other organizations. I don't mean it that way, but just what makes it so special? What makes it so unique?
Well, one of the things I really love about the way that the Milken Institute does our prizes, first of all, we are not a prize operator first and foremost at the Milken Institute. We are a nonpartisan, nonprofit, research-based think tank. So everything we do is grounded in research, figuring out what the landscape is, what the future is. We spend a lot of time on my team talking about future casting, scenario planning, strategic foresight. How do we look 10 plus years in the future and design for that? And then we do a prize if and when we think it is effective and it's going to have a good impact. Mm-hmm. We also offer different types of prizes. So some organizations are focused on the award type of prize. So think Nobel Prize or something awarding for excellence in the field. And others are focused on incentive competition. So that's really new ideas, new breakthrough solutions and testing in the field. We do a whole array. We can run the gamut in the type of award prize that we think makes the most sense for that topic area. The other thing about it is really the access that we have at the Milken Institute to decision makers across sector and across borders. Mm-hmm. So for us, once somebody is awarded a prize, I can tell you, I've said this to you before, Adam, giving somebody $1 million is such a great feeling. So getting to award someone $1 million is great. But that I've
interviewed you after you've given out that prize, and I remember, I'm like, man, she is walking on clouds right now. I remember in-person interview. I think that might have been our first interview, and I was like, whoa. What is that? That might have been one of my questions. What does it feel like? Go ahead, please. I think it was. Good memory.
I highly recommend it. If anyone out there, if you give somebody $1 million, it is a great feeling. And it is not the end, because we all know $1 million is amazing. It can make a huge difference, but it is not game-changing systems change. It is the type of money that allows people to keep going. But what you really need is to make sure you have the regulations in place, that you have the investment, that people know about it, that you're really in front of the right people who are going to be able to scale this idea. So winning the prize is not the end. That is where Milken Institute has a very long history, decades of getting decision makers across the board in the room together and people getting in front of them to be able to make real change. So to me, those are the elements that really make Milken Institute Prize Program exciting and sets us apart.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And I do like many things that you mentioned, but one of the things that I didn't notice, or I didn't kind of quite hone in on until you just said it again and then it sunk in, is that you're not stuck with that might be the wrong word, but you're not limited to one particular niche for your prize. So for example, it's AI and manufacturing right now, and who knows, maybe it'll be that in coming years too, or maybe not. Like maybe it changes to something else. It was agro at one point and it was something else at another point. So like, I do like the fact that it can go with where I believe the decision-making body are thinking about where the most impact's going to be, right?
Exactly.
And so that becomes like you're not antiquated by history or legacy, so to speak, on what it has to be.
Yep.
This is great. Emily, so people that want to learn more, and people that want to connect with either the Milken Institute in general or the Milken Motsepe Prize in AI and Manufacturing, if people want to learn more or connect with you, how do they do that?
It's best for people to connect to us either through our website at milkeninstitute.org. We have a specific Milken Motsepe Prize.org. But please, the best and most up-to-date is following us on LinkedIn. So you can find us on Milken Institute at LinkedIn, and our strategic philanthropy website also has a lot about our prize program on it.
Wonderful. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. This is a daily show. Each and every day we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Emily, thanks again for coming back on. Good to have you back.
Thanks, Adam. Great to be here.